Well, hi, my name is Deja from Trick or Treat Music, a music media based in Mexico City, and I am pretty excited to be here with you guys and to get to have a little chat about what's coming up. But first, how's the pandemic been going?
Uh,
Whoa,
that's a big question. Um,
it's going random. It's going,
yeah, it's like usual now, you know.
yeah,
Tonight we're waiting. We're expecting actually in less than an hour there's going to be a new lockdown announcement.
from the prime
Well,
minister.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
here, so it's a bit like a routine now, you know. We're just used to this kind of stuff, but it's very frustrating too because we want to, you know, we've got our album out next week and we want to have a big party and we just can't. We want to play a live show for it and we can't, so it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I know that's a bummer, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I listened to all of the previous singles, and all I can say is that I am way too excited for this album to be out already. Because what I've
uh,
listened to so far has been so refreshing. And by the way, I love the name of the album, Tako Tsubo. How did you guys come up with that name?
It was actually I heard the name when because I was listening to a podcast, a French podcast, and it was about a girl who's having a takotsubo because of an emotional burnout, and so it it actually influenced me on the writing of one song called Anomalie Blue that was out last December because Anomalie Bleu. It's a song about when you know when you meet someone and it's love at first sight basically. And when in the song you meet someone and suddenly your heart stops beating, and so this made me think of the Takotsubo. And it's also something you can feel in the song because in that song there's all this beginning that is very kind of cool with the little guitar riff, and then suddenly there's some huge breaks with a lot of drum. How can you say that? Oh, I'm bad in English with this.
drum breaks.
Yeah, it's drum breaks, and it's very hectic all of a sudden, and it as if you were just walking down the street and suddenly you fall in love.
Yeah.
And so this Takotsubo thing made me think of this song Anomalie Bleu, and then I was explaining this concept to Charles, and he said that really summarized the whole album in the end, because all our album is about breakups and rupture in the continuity of things. And it's not the heart that stops beating, you know, the whole album, but just the idea that an emotion is too strong, and an emotion can just overwhelm everything. And that's something that for me and for Charles as well is really present in the whole album.
Okay. So I did notice, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like some Japanese references in the Hématome video, which
Mhm.
leads me to wonder what did you think of when coming up with the idea of that video in particular?
It was not our idea actually, because usually when we for all the video clips we like to. I mean, it's usually Charles doing it. You.
Yeah, we usually, I mean, we just choose the director who we're gonna work with, but
Yeah.
we really let him free on the way he chooses the pitch and the way he's gonna read the track, you know, the song. So that's kind of a second reading of the song, but we don't like impose.
Impose.
We don't impose anything. We just make sure that we have the same references, and starting from starting from there, I mean, we just let it go, you know.
And the
Okay.
cool thing is it gives another life to a song because, for example, in this case for Hématome, Hématome is a song about you know, the trap of the social media, and when you're having a breakup with someone, and so when someone erases you from his life, and but this person is still accessible through the social media world, you know, and that weird vertigo between the fact that somebody is unavailable and inaccessible, but at the same time he is, because the social media makes everybody you know, exist
Yep.
in a different way. And so it can be a real trap. And so this song is about this. And at the same time, Jocelyn and Roxane, the two illustrators that did the clip, they had a really different reading of the song. So that's what was interesting, because the song is about, you know, this gorilla who wants to be a human, basically, and
who thinks she's a human.
Thinks she's a human, and she wants to belong to another world. And it really goes well with the lyrics in the end, if you read it this way. And that's the cool thing. It's the same song, but it can be read in a total different way. And it really works for me too, you know. So that's the cool thing with video clips all the time. And that's what we really want to do every time.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Since we're already talking about Hématome, would you tell us a little bit more about the lyrics? Does it have any real story happening behind it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I won't hide it. It's a story. I mean, I've been through this recently, and also I think, I mean, a lot of people have been through this kind of thing, even if it's not for a love story. I mean, even a friendship story can happen like that. Also, it's this whole phenomenon of ghosting, you know. And I've heard that actually ghosting has been. I mean, ghosting can be apparently pretty tragic, and there's apparently a lot of psychiatric effects, and you know, people can be really impacted by the ghosting phenomenon. And I've heard also that there's another word, sorry, for another phenomenon called orbiting. It's when you know, when you stay around the person on the social media, it's like you don't have an interaction directly with him or her, but you stay active with their friends on the social media, so that you're just orbiting, so you're just around, you know. I mean, just to say that there's so many of these phenomena that are very negative things, and that are happening because of the social media. And so I wanted to talk about it through my story, but in the end, it's you know, I think everybody has faced it in the past, and I guess a lot of people will face it in the future. I will probably face it again. It's something that is part of our lives now.
Yeah. And what would you tell me about the music? I could notice like this super funk bass and the synth lines. They kind of remind me of this 70s, 80s Japanese city pop wave. Like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there any inspiration for that, or is it just me?
No, of
It's not
course.
just you, of course. I mean, we have many of those influences in the album, and especially on this song. And this song is like really composed by. I mean, there are three different parts. No, four different parts, and there's the verse, the chorus, the break, the big bridge, and the end, the outro, and they are all from like different influences. And of course, there is maybe city pop music. There is proper 70s disco. Well, do you know this band called Delegation?
No.
No. It's kind of a quite famous 70s disco band, US band. And ouais, je sais pas si je dis ça.
Moi, je pense aussi, mais après, t'es pas obligé de dire le morceau. Mais
Yeah, we
they
were
really
really,
influenced
yeah, they
the
really
song.
influenced us for the verses, and the chorus is more like funky, but l'impératrice funky. It's like really typical l'impératrice, because of its really airy synth and this really groovy bass and guitar. And the bridge is more of a Anderson Paak / Californian new soul, new hip hop vibe, you know, really instrumental, really heavy, really yeah, just the beat, you know, and the beat and the bass and the chord progression, yeah, really Californian. And the end is quite Californian too, but maybe Japanese too, I don't know. But it's, yeah, it's really a mix of all of this, you know.
And the funny thing is, the end used to be the chorus.
Yeah.
The end of the song used to be the first, the chorus of the song, but it changed a lot, because this particular song was pretty much a struggle to to get through, because we yeah, it had a lot of different lives. Like the verse didn't change much, but the chorus, we made like four different harmonic versions of the chorus before we could find the good one. And then the melodies, there was 35 different melodies for the chorus, and the last one was the good one, but we made 34 ones before that were not good enough. And the lyrics also were quite a bit of a struggle. So yeah, that was a hard song to make, but I guess maybe that's also why it's got so many different influences also, because it has been made through a long period of time and with a lot of efforts. So yeah, that's a good thing in the end, I guess.
That's actually very interesting to me. Like, how do you think the sound of L'Impératrice has evolved with this album?
It really involved. I mean, since we've been touring for 2 years, but not for a year because of the COVID stuff, but uh, we came to see you guys in Mexico. We've been touring in USA. We've been touring in everywhere in
Europe.
Europe, and we've met a new audience, and we really took advantage of it to to build a new how do you say that, uh, new package of influences, and it just let us really free to bring those influences in the new songs. And so it yeah, it has evolved this way. And I think we really found something in California, something in the Mexican sun, to make those songs more enlightened and more joyful and more rich, with the harmony, with the beats, with the groove. And I really think that is because of the tour, because of you guys, because of the US audience and stuffs, which is really new for us, because before that we only knew like the French audience. Okay, so
They're great, by the way.
yeah, but you're better. And and yeah, no, that's true. I mean, if you compare Tako Tsubo to Matahari is really like really Frenchy, properly Frenchy. The songs, the vibe, the atmosphere is really really French, and this album is like more of a like world funky stuff album.
I feel also we had more freedom for this album because the fact that it's the second one, so there was more pressure, of course, because the second album is always pressure because you have to make the same thing but a bit different.
Yeah.
So there's this pressure, but at the same time, we got more confident. Also, we got more mature because of the tour, because of just time passing. I don't know, and so we took more. Yeah, we went a bit further in everything. I feel in the composition, in the lyrics, in the recording, and we also yeah, we were more confident with ourselves. Like for example, Charles, you you did all the premix of the album, which you didn't do before on Matahari. um, and we also there's a lot of breaks in the album. In every song you never know where you're gonna be at the end. There's always you can switch on the bridge and you can go super far in another place, and it's very eclectic. And we were not afraid of surprising people, of making songs that are not in a normal structure, in a normal way. And yeah, that's a good thing, I think. And that's also how this album is more intimate and more, it looks more like us, it sounds more like us, and it looks more like us. It's more personal, I feel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, instrumentally, I mean, you should consider every part from a song as a break. I mean, you should not consider the chorus as the chorus, or the verse as the verse, or the bridge as a break. Everything is a break,
Okay.
basically. Like the Tako Tsubo syndrome. It's like, yeah, you have this part, but it's a break from a break from a break. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, it's, there's things in this album that we could have never done before, like the even my vocals, we used a range that is way lower in my vocals, which we never used before, and we use a lot of choir effects, with a lot of voice, not in the singles maybe that are out, but in the rest of the album you'll see. And we I don't know, there's a lot of things that we could have never done before.
Right.
I don't know why, but it's
Okay, so it was a really long way since you released the first single of this upcoming album back in April of 2020. So my question is, Tako Tsubo was supposed to be from the beginning to be an actual album, or it became a consequence of the pandemic?
No, we just postponed it like many times
yeah,
because of the pandemic, but it's been recorded in 2019.
at the end.
So at the end, yeah, it was done in December 2019.
It was
But we composed a new song during the pandemic, during the
yeah.
first lockdown, so last March, a year ago exactly, and we
Mhm.
composed this song called Submarine, and everyone was at home,
In different places
in
in
different
France.
places, yeah.
We were not locked down altogether, but we were everybody was in touch, and we made this song in the distance. We even had some friends that are living in LA, and they were playing. They sent us through email some parts that they were playing some. There was some vocals and some keys parts, and so we made the song with them, and the six of us, all separate. And so the song is in the album. So that's maybe the very COVID thing in the album is this song. That's the only, and also the fact that with the lockdown, Charles had the time to really go deep into the pre-mixes of the song, and to re-record some stuff, rearrange, really go deeper in the material
In the
before,
production,
in the production, before we could send it to the mixer.
Okay. So, what do you think is the most difficult thing about releasing an album in the middle of a pandemic?
uh, Everything's difficult.
I think the more difficult is just not to be able to fight for it on stage, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But at least we know that people are at home and they are able to listen to it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit the same for everybody, but at the same time we're not a big band, and so the only way usually for us to spread our music is to play it live, to play at festivals, to go on tour. It's really the way it goes, for an artist that is our size in a way. And so if you're huge, you can go to TV shows, and you don't even need to make big to go to big venues or whatever. So I feel maybe it's harder for us in a way, but at the same time, this album was ready. We have to release it at some point. We've released 5 singles already, which is a lot. Almost half of the album has been released. So at some point, we had to, just let it go, and so that we can now focus on, preparing a new live, and also maybe composing new stuff
Yeah.
for next things.
And I know that you have already scheduled some dates in the near future in Europe, but I mean, like, what's coming next after that? I mean, assuming they get canceled or anything could happen. In that case, what's your plan B to promote this new album regardless of the situation? Like, I don't know, maybe some online shows or
Billboards, online shows, viral marketing.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're lucky enough to have a very cool record label, and they have a lot of ideas to, try to make it work without a big marketing money campaign.
but still we'll have billboards.
Yeah, apparently we're gonna have billboards in Mexico.
In Mexico,
that's
yeah.
that's huge for us. Yeah, that's the only place where we can.
No, in LA too.
In LA maybe, and So yeah, we're gonna do. I mean, we did a virtual tour last year. We did a tour that was online, with geolocalized shows around the world, and so we've done this. So I don't think we're gonna do it again, but of course, for the release, we're gonna do a live on YouTube with the new songs for the release of the album, and we're planning also to do something every Wednesday from next week on, and every Wednesday night we're gonna sit down in our studio and show people what's in every song of the album, like show the separate tracks, and so like what's happening in this song and what's this part, how did we write that, and maybe just to to involve people in the to involve our fans in the composition process, and to just show a bit and how it has been made, and also interviewing the people who've made the clips so that they can explain also how they made it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the plan for the next week. But then after that, we're gonna run out of ideas. So I hope we can go back on stage.
So, is there any possibility that as soon as the pandemic ends, the first country that you visit on tour outside Europe is, of course, Mexico?
Mexico.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wish.
Might be a chance. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be U.S. and Mexico,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we have to. It's
or maybe Mexico, U.S. I don't know the
Mexico
other,
first.
but yeah.
I mean, there's something so strong with Mexico, with us. I mean, for us, it's crazy. We've been once, and it was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
Really, it's we've never seen such dedication, from an audience to a live show and a band. It doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
it's a match.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. So, I really wanted to end this interview with a heavy question, but I'm gonna do it the other way because I really need to ask you this. So, how did you guys take the news about Daft Punk breaking up?
Um,
Oh.
as you-
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad, especially because I grew up with the Daft Punks. Yeah, I was born in 1986, and I really remember the day they released their first album. It was in 1997, so I was basically 11, but I really remember of that song around the world, which was playing on all the radios back in time, and then I never stopped following them. They released Discovery in 2001, so I was a teenager, and as a teenager, I mean, their music was with me every day at every parties, at school, in my ears. I remember having a Discman, this thing where yeah, you were reading CDs,
Yeah.
and yeah. Wow. And then yeah, I mean, when I learned that, I was really sad because it, to me, it meant that they had never they can't bring anything anymore, because they brought everything. Each time they released an album, they really comment tu dis, ils ont créé une tendance. They really created a new
New.
musical era, something.
Yeah.
So this breakup means that they don't have anything to bring anymore, and that's really sad.
Or maybe they don't want to bring anything anymore.
Oh
maybe,
yeah,
maybe
they don't want because
maybe
of
they
what?
have it, but they don't want to share it.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
So, I actually have some more questions, but these are just for fun. So, are you willing to answer them?
Sure.
So, did you
ahead.
discover any talent during the quarantine and lockdown?
Est-ce qu'on a découvert des talents?
Ouais. Did we discover any new talent? Yeah, je peux dire de nouvelles. There's a Belgian singer that I really love, and he released his first songs during the first lockdown. He's called David Numwami. It's like Numwami, and it's a very funny because all the lyrics are very funny, but at the same time the songs are really great, the melodies are beautiful, and there's really something special about this guy, and I feel it's gonna work out for him pretty well. And Charles, I don't know if you've got an idea of
Yeah, to me the new talent is, I mean, they are quite famous already, but that's the new project from Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars.
oh, yeah. Well, they
which-
don't need your support.
which is
come
called
on.
which is called merde, c'est quoi? Silk Sonic.
Yeah, no, I mean,
And they released the new song.
the best thing.
Yeah, Leave the Door Open, which is
Yeah.
like my
Yeah.
favorite.
We're very obsessed with this song
Yeah, I'm
at the
quite
moment.
obsessed. And the video is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything is amazing. Their vocals are amazing. The production is amazing. Everything is amazing. But I can't wait to hear the full album.
I know, me too.
They
That's-
didn't pay us to say all this. Just saying.
Yeah, new talent. Right?
New talent, yeah. Small band.
Small band, yeah. They're gonna blow it.
So, what's your favorite word? Like, it doesn't matter the language it comes from, just a word that you like.
Oh, word. Oh, wow. What's our favorite word?
Circonspect.
No.
No, that's a joke.
Abnégation.
Application. No.
No.
Shoot.
Shoot.
I love this one. Yeah, shoot to say shit. You
No,
know?
I thought you meant shoot.
Shoot. Oh, shoot.
Because shoot in French means shh.
No, shoot.
Ah, okay.
Maybe a French word.
Yeah, it's a French word. Maybe I think I would say coquelicot because it's true, because it's a word I use in Peur des filles, and it's so funny because it's a, I don't know, I like I like the pronunciation of this word coquelicot. I think it's popsicle in English. It's a flower, actually.
Okay.
And
Popsicle too.
yeah, I think popsicle it's coquelicot. I don't know. And oh no, it's poppy.
Puppy.
Yeah, I think it's poppy in English. So coquelicot, so it's in this song Peur des filles, and I don't know why, but there was a lot of people, French people that were commenting on like, I just love the way you're saying this word. It's so funny because to me I use this word on purpose because I really love to pronounce it, and I don't know why, and it's funny. I really like the way that people noticed it. It's cool. It was a good validation for me. So for me, coquelicot.
Coquelicot. Wow.
Okay, so what would you rather, to travel to the future or the past, and why?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Actually,
no, clearly the past. I don't want to know our future. I mean, I know our future is quite
future
dark.
looks bad.
Yeah, it looks bad. So yeah, the past. I mean, right in the middle of the 70s, wearing some
flare pants.
Yeah, flare pants and cheesy clothes, and
yeah, and getting some synths and stuff. Yeah,
smoking cigarettes on planes.
No.
Okay, lastly, would you recommend us 3 underrated artists that you listen to and you think that they should be way more recognized?
Silk Sonic, Michael Jackson.
No.
No, underrated.
Underrated. Okay, that's a good one. Can we check our phones, because
Yeah,
I don't know
of course.
if I have the idea straight. There's a
Bollinger, so.
there's a French. It's not French, not French at all. Sorry, she's American or she's English?
No, she's Canadian, I think.
Oh, okay, well, it's a girl, a singer. She's called Kate Bollinger. Bollenger, and she's just amazing. All her songs are just, it's such a mood. It feels like you're just in a warm coat in winter. I don't know how to say it in another way, but yeah, it's beautiful. So this is probably the number one.
There is a Japanese band called Kirinji.
Kirinji. It's Kirinji.
That was a tricky one.
Yeah,
I'm bad
and they sing
spelling.
in Japanese, and there is this song called Kilo Tunes Kills Me, which is a blast. Yeah, it's really, really cheesy.
No, but in a good way.
But in a really good way, and I love this song. We love this song.
Okay.
That's pretty underrated.
Yes,
And the third one.
the third one, let me go through my playlist at the moment. Asking by Dead Mount. No? It's a French producer and singer. He's called Ed Mount, like the mountain, you know.
Yeah.
And he's doing he released during the lockdown last year an EP of covers that is really cool, including a cover of a song that I really love that is called "Clouds Across the Moon." And yeah, I really recommend. It's a lot. There's a lot of synth, and also the good thing about this EP is that it was an EP made with only one synth and one drum machine.
Okay.
And oh, it's two keyboards. Sorry, two keyboards and one drum machine. And so there's a big, it's cool because there's just these instruments and his vocals, and the result is really beautiful. Hey friends from Mexico, it's Flore and Charles from L'Impératrice, and we really hope you will like our new album Tako Tsubo, and please follow us on our social media, and hopefully we'll see you soon on tour.
Bye.
Bye.